He's dropped it to 23. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
From the 50, here's Herbert. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Draw play. It's Eckler. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Herbert has it knocked free.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A give. This is Cook. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now Mond. The open man is Westbrook. And he will have a Vikings first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Back to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he goes out right around the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Cook now off the read option. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. Here's Mond. They're going for it. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort, but on fourth down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort, picking up the first.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Mond. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Badgley's kick is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Mond. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play. They'll run with Cook. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Mon looks to throw. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook from 4 yards out. And the Vikings have taken the lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down, Eckler. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at...
Under pressure is Mond, and he'll go down. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now a throw here, hauled in.
Martin's pass, complete to number 85. A gain of 10 yards, and it's 3rd down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Mond going to throw it. Lets it fly for Thielen. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. .39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Throwing again on second down. Herbert. Flush to his right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Herbert on third down now. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, standing just outside his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got the first down and more past midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
On 1st and 10, here's Mon. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, but it's going to be second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
A nice play design there with a touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Mond out of the shotgun. Looking for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. D.D. Westbrook, 26 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit.
Fights through and now a crease. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike.
Now it's Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They snap it to Herbert. For a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, 44 yards. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They run it again with Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And down right around the 37. 59 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., 37 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage.
Chargers 9.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Here comes Nasir Adderley from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Charger drive about to get going. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
They were trying to go back to Allen there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert.
He'll drop this one off to Eckler.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, Herbert. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Williams loses the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line.
They go play action here. Mon
airing it out deep for Smith. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a gain of 34.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
They'll set up to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Derwin James with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And he will have the 1st down as he's up to his 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Herbert operating from the red zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Jalen Guyton there to make the grab. And the Chargers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 74 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Got an open man finding Jefferson. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left in no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They run. Cook. And he is going to have the 1st down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. The kick by Joseph is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Herbert to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They